Well, good morning. This is my reading for the week ahead, and I thought as we are, certainly I am anyway, celebrating Halloween or Samhain or Winter's Day, however you choose to name and honor this weekend, I thought I'd choose one card. I didn't choose it. I shuffled and dealt it to take one card to really represent this period of time between now and the winter solstice. So I just thought, for most of us, these seem like times of great change. They seem very unsettling. So I wanted one card to really define the period of time between now, the end of October, through to is it the 1st of November today? Through to the end of December. And this is the card we've got, the Wheel. Now, this is from the Druidcraft deck, so it's very different feel to the Rider-Waite Wheel of Fortune. With the Rider-Waite Wheel of Fortune, there is a feeling of things changing and you have to adapt. With the Druidcraft Wheel of Fortune, here we have somebody. And when we read for ourselves, this person, this female, would represent each and every one of us, standing in the center of our own life and drawing our circle around us, or drawing our boundaries around us. I think from now to winter solstice, we all need to be very conscious of our boundaries. I think we all need to be very conscious of creating the life that we want to lead, even if it feels like we don't have many choices left to us. Okay, this is about our attitude, this is about our boundaries. I think we have to really be focused on making the best of the life that we can between now and solstice. So I think that's card. I love this card. I love the subtle differences between the Rider-Waite and the Druidcraft deck. But to me, I like, and whenever I read with the Druidcraft deck, in my mind, I've got the Rider-Waite picture as well because I can't help it. So I like the comparison between the Rider-Waite Wheel of Fortune, which is life goes up, life goes down, you better run with it. And this Wheel of Fortune, which is when we stand in the center of our own life, we realize what we can control and we do that well. So I think it is a card of acceptance, but more than that, empowerment. So that was a card for the next couple of months. I've also got a reading now for the coming week. And for those of us in the UK, I should correct myself. For those of us in England, because UK seems to be dealing with coronavirus in many different ways. For those of us in England, we are facing another lockdown. And here it is, the Four of Cups. This was the card that in January this year, when I was doing my year ahead readings, just kept cropping up for people for no particular reason over the spring. And at the time, I had no concept of what it would mean. I really just took it as a slowing down. And now we have it again. And I think wherever we are in the world right now, coronavirus seems to be affecting our life once more. And in fact, I was teaching the Suit of Cups on Friday, and I was talking about how the Four of Cups, yes, it can be seen as being bored or stuck in a rut, but it's also a card of waiting, of being still, of manifesting what you most want. Because why isn't he seeing or picking up these three cups down here? Probably because they're not right. Probably because he's waiting for the Ace of Cups here. So if coronavirus or lockdown is affecting you this week, this is a card of just accepting it, but making it work really well for you. Okay, very similar, I think, to the Wheel of Fortune from the Druidcraft. It's going to be a difficult week. Goodness knows what's going to happen politically in the UK. Goodness knows what's going to happen politically in America. I think the Four of Cups is a card of keeping it calm, keeping it contained, and really focusing on what you can have control over. The advice is the Ace of Pentacles. It's a funny card. Sometimes when you do a reading, the story between the cards seems not to make sense somehow. And I would say these two cards just don't go well together. The Four of Cups is a card of wanting to be peaceful, wanting to reflect, wanting to withdraw and just take time to yourself. And the Ace of Pentacles is a card of stepping out of your comfort zone and new opportunities. On one level, I think that many of us might over the coming weeks feel that we want to step up how we interact in the world. We may feel, and I'm making this post, and I try to make this page completely neutral, but we may feel that we want to stand up for what we believe is right, that we want to step out of our comfort zones, whether we want to talk to friends, whether we want to share on Facebook, that we want to discuss what we think is important, even if we feel uncomfortable about it. One of the things that I think has happened recently is that we've become very polarized. There doesn't seem to be a middle ground anymore. So this is about stepping out of our comfort zone. This literally represents the Garden of Eden. Here we have the path leading out in a gentle way, in a compassionate way, stepping out of our comfort zones. One of the things I've realized is, most of the people that I spend time with have very similar political views to myself. It makes it polarized. And the next card is the Ten of Cups. This is a promise. This is a coming together and trying to create something better together. The cups in the rainbow is God's promise. This deck, both the artist and the author come from a Christian background. We may at the moment feel a million places or steps away from this beautiful card of happiness, love and peace. But what the cards are saying is there is a promise of it. We can get through this time. The card at the bottom of the pack probably says what we more truly feel, Five of Pentacles. Fear about not fitting in, fear about lack, fear about poverty, basically fear. I think most people right now, on one level or another, for some reason or another, are feeling the fear. And if we just run through them one more time, just to get that story, because they seem complex this week. Sometimes I look at cards and the story just comes straight through. Sometimes the story involves elements that just don't quite fit, and that's what's happening this week. So I think it's going to be a complicated week for so many reasons. The Four of Cups is about taking easy, taking a rest, not rushing in, using the time to really focus on what you really want, not accepting half measures. The Ace of Pentacles, if you feel really drawn to step out of your comfort zone. I do think this is about the different polarized groups, whether that's political, whether that's to do with COVID, actually starting to connect to each other, because we are stronger together. I mean, the two cards are polar opposites. This is about having a vision that is inclusive and beautiful and happy and healthy. And this is about feeling left out and lonely and as if you have no place. So it is a very strange reading this week. I have to be honest with you. I'm really fascinated to see how the week unfolds. I think for me, I would much rather live both in a family and a society and a world where we try and dream a bigger picture, and where we try and work together to create something that's better, rather than a world where we withdraw and we focus on scarcity and lack and fear. And I guess each one of us can play a part of that. So I'm fascinated to see what happens. I will be back next week. Stay safe, and I hope you have a good week.